Welcome to another She's Jam production. Today I want to talk to you about Oprah Winfrey and Russell Simmons, and Russell Simmons calling out Oprah for focusing on black men in her documentaries about men being accused of sexual assault. She did one on Michael Jackson called Finding Neverland, and now she's doing one on Russell Simmons, and Russell Simmons wants to know why she hasn't called out Harvey Weinstein. So let's get into it. Russell Simmons posted this message on his Instagram. Now y'all stay with me because it's kind of long. He says, "Dearest Oprah, you have been a shining light to my family and to my community, contributing so much to my life that I couldn't list a fraction of it in this blog. I have given you the gift of meditation and groundbreaking book, The Power of Now. We bonded, to say the least." Now he's specifically referring to his appearance on her Soul Sunday show. He says, "This is why it's so troubling that you choose me to single out in your recent documentary. I have already admitted to being a playboy, more appropriately titled womanizer, sleeping with, and putting myself in more compromising situations than almost any man I know. Not 8 or 14,000 like Warren Beatty or Walt Chamberlain, but still an insane number." Now I hate when people bring other people into their mess. He could have left them out of it. He goes on to say, "So many that some could reinterpret or reimagine a different recollection of the same experiences. Please note that your producers said that this upcoming doc was to focus only on 3 hand-chosen girls. I have refused to get in the mud with any accusers, but let's acknowledge what I have shared. I have taken and passed 9 3-hour lie detector tests taken from my daughters. These stories have been passed on by CNN, NBC, BuzzFeed, New York Post, New York Mag, and others. Now that you have reviewed the facts, you should have learned what I know, that these stories are unusable and that hurt people hurt people. Today I received a call from an old girl from the 1980s, which means that they are using my word/evidence against me in their commitment. All of the claims are 25 to 40 years old. It is impossible to prove what happened 40 years ago, but in my case, proof exists of what didn't happen. Mostly signed letters from their own parents, siblings, roommates, band members, interns, and in the case of 2 of your 3 accusers, their own words in their own books. Shocking how many people have misused this important, powerful revolution for relevance and money." I don't know if he's trying to say that Oprah is trying to use the situation for clout, or if he's saying the girls in the documentary are trying to use the situation for clout. Maybe you should name your documentary Flavor of Love. In closing, I am guilty of exploiting, supporting, and making the soundtrack for a grossly unequal society, but I've never been violent or forced myself on anyone. Still, I am here to help support a necessary shift in power and consciousness. Let us get to work on uplifting humanity and put this moment and old narrative behind us. Now, one thing I want to point out is the fact that he mentions that he's never been forceful or violent. And I think what some people don't get is that some of the women involved in the Me Too movement are not saying that they were forcibly or violently raped, like not physically pushed against a wall. Some of them are saying that they were intimidated into having these sexual experiences with these men who they really didn't want to have sexual experiences with. And this is a whole gray area, because if you don't want to have a sexual experience with someone, but you don't communicate that to them because they're intimidating you, in their mind, they may not feel like they raped you. So when he mentions that he's passed all these lie detector tests, he may not, just like he said, he may not have physically raped women, but he may have intimidated women and didn't realize it. But I want to know your thoughts. Leave a comment and let me know your thoughts specifically on him saying that he hasn't physically and violently raped anyone. And then I also want to know your thoughts on Oprah Winfrey specifically focusing on Michael Jackson, who is dead and gone. He's dead and gone. You know, some of the accusations about Michael Jackson, I can't put aside. I don't ignore them, but at the same time I feel like he's dead and gone. So I want to know your opinion on her doing the documentary on Michael Jackson and now doing one on Russell Simmons, but not doing one on Harvey Weinstein. Now, there are people in the entertainment industry that say that Oprah was well aware of Harvey Weinstein's actions. Like Seal called her out last year and he posted 2 pictures, one of her kissing Harvey Weinstein on the cheek and said, when you have been a part of the problem for decades. And another one where it looks like she's introducing possibly Rita Ora and Harvey Weinstein, and it says, but suddenly they all think you are the solution. And he put in the caption, oh, that's right, you heard the rumors, but you had no idea he was actually serially assaulting young starting actresses who in turn had no idea what they were getting into. My bad. Hashtag sanctimonious Hollywood. Now, Oprah has spoke before about her relationship with Harvey Weinstein, and she denied knowing that he was serially assaulting young actresses and young musicians. What she said she knew was that he was a bully. She said anytime she would receive a phone call from him, she didn't actually want to take the phone call because he was so much of a bully, telling her who to have on her show and who not to have on her show, and basically bullying her. But she never put two and two together that not only was he bullying her, Oprah, he was also intimidating young girls, young actresses, and sexually assaulting them. Now, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, and I do have a right to my opinion, I feel like Oprah didn't want to know. I feel like she may not have known specifically that he was assaulting people, but I feel part of that reason why she didn't know is because she didn't want to know. If she knew he was a bully, and she's in the entertainment industry, she knows what type of industry it is and how predatory that industry is, specifically to young women. She knows how that industry is, and the fact that she said she didn't know what he was doing, I think it's purposeful ignorance, like she didn't want to know. That's my opinion, but I want to know yours. Leave a comment and let me know what you think about this whole situation, and let me know if you agree with Russell Simmons that Oprah is specifically targeting African American men in her documentaries. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that 50 Cent is also asking the question of why does Oprah only target black men in her documentaries about sexual assault? Now, I will say I'm not a fan of 50 Cent, and I feel like 50 Cent particularly targets black women, even black women who work for him and make money for him. He targets black women and insults black women any chance he can get. That's my opinion. But this is his opinion about Oprah and Russell Simmons. He says, I don't understand why Oprah is going after black men. No Harvey Weinstein, no Epstein, just Michael Jackson and Russell Simmons. This is sad. Gayle hit R. Kelly with the Death Blow documentary. Then he goes on to say these documentaries are publicly convicting their targets. It makes them guilty till proven innocent. Now, I can somewhat agree with his last statement. People do watch the documentaries and assume guilt, even if the people have not yet been convicted. I can somewhat agree with that, but I also, more than anything, think that where there's smoke, there's fire. He also posted a picture of other men that have been accused of sexual assault, and this is what I really want to get into. He says Bill Cosby is in jail, R. Kelly is in jail, and the rest of them walked. In the caption, he said, you think Oprah don't notice how this is playing out? Now, this is my thing. Let's just say they're all guilty. Some of the allegations against them haven't been proven yet at this point, but let's just say that they're all guilty. It almost sounds like 50 Cent's major argument is that if white men can do it and get away with it, then why can't black men do it too and get away with it? If white men can get away with serially raping women, then why can't black men do the same thing? And I have a problem with that argument, because I strongly believe that wrong is wrong. No matter who's doing it, wrong is wrong. And I don't think it's fair to say just because these white men get away with raping women, then black men should get away with raping women too. It's all wrong, and nobody should get away with it. Nobody should get away with the rape. Then he posted another picture when TMZ blogged about him, and he said, I just want to know why she's only going after her own when it's clear the penalties have been far more extreme for African American men. Leave a comment and let me know what you think about this whole situation with Oprah and Russell Simmons, as well as 50 Cent's comments. And as always, thanks for watching.